This is the buzz of Madison County. These are trying times for small businesses throughout our nation right now. Many of the entrepreneurs will struggle at best to make it out to the other side of this. What are some of them doing to survive? Well, one face of our business community, always advocating for that community, whose name is on the deed of two small businesses, is Ben Orcutt of Buckskin Bikes and Jackrabbit Coffee. Ben, COVID-19 has undoubtedly had an impact on your establishments.
Oh, it's definitely had some impacts on both. Yeah. Well, honestly, two quite different experiences. Jackrabbit Coffee, I'll talk about first. As food service, we were mandated to go to carry out only at a certain point. And we did that, and we went for a week that way, then decided just to close it down entirely. There's just not a lot of people out, and there shouldn't be. That's the point. But there just wasn't really enough business for us to justify keeping the doors open, so we closed. And realistically, we will keep those doors closed until we're allowed to have, people sit in our restaurant again.
At some point, I know that there was talk about doing wholesale of coffees and such. Is that continuing, or did you cut that out?
Well, most of the other shops that we've provided coffee for are also closed, including Anderson University. So, no, that whole side of the business is down to zero. We are still selling online. We just built a web store. We did not have one previously, so that's one of the other adjustments that we've made in the coffee shop. We're actually completely sold out right now. Our first couple of batches that came through, we've completely sold through that coffee. But we will have more up there this week, and we're continuing to do that. But, man, it's hard to do business when you can't get a crowd, The bike shop is different. The bike shop is actually deemed essential business under transportation infrastructure here in Indiana. I feel kind of fortunate that we're allowed to keep operating. I'm doing service by appointment only. I'm really not doing a lot of sales. I've definitely, my sales are notably lower in these weeks than they were last year, the years before this time. And this is our peak season. This is where I really try to make all my money for the whole year. So to be losing the peak right now, well, I'm nervous about what that's going to make November look like.
When you first heard about mandates coming down from the government about essential and non-essential businesses, did you initially view it as doomsday?
No, I was kind of willing to, take what they're going to give us. I may be in a minority position, but I'm interested in listening to the people that seem to have a lot of expertise on this issue. And if they say we need to stay at home and keep our businesses closed, I was willing to abide by that. As it turns out, I didn't really have to. I guess the hardest part about this whole thing is that every day the rules are changing, whether it's the SBA stuff, whether it's which businesses are essential and which aren't. I have no ability to guess what the future holds, and that's obviously a scary position to be in as an owner.
Tell us about when you realized that you were going to have to innovate to, if you will, stay afloat during this critical time.
Frankly, it's hard. It doesn't feel like there's any right decisions right now. For example, in the bike shop, one of the first things I had to do was let my other mechanics go. I just had to cut overhead as dramatically as possible. I'm in a little bit of a unique position that I own the building that the bike shop operates out of. I own that building personally. So I was able to talk to the landlord and get a good discount on rent these few months. I'm able to sort of make some strategic adjustments to keep overhead down because, right now I'm busy. I have a lot of service coming in right now by appointment, and I'm very thankful for that. But I don't know how long that's going to last. It's hard to know how long people are going to have spending money. There's no way to know what's coming next. I'm not doing more service than I was last year. I'm doing a similar amount, but my sales, like new bikes and things, are significantly down. So in this moment, percentage-wise, service appears up, but I don't think compared to last year, I'm actually any busier right now.
Have you been at any round tables, whether it be virtually or otherwise, with any of the other business owners in the community to hear what they're doing?
No, honestly, I think a lot of people will resonate with this on sort of a personal level, but even on a business level, it feels really lonely right now. The chamber's not having their regular events. I'm not bumping into people downtown when I go to the bank. I'm not having a lot of those conversations. I really feel like everybody's sort of hunkered into their own little hole to try to keep it going. And there's not a whole lot of conversation happening that I'm a part of right now. Yeah, it's a challenge. Everybody's just trying to keep their own head above water, you know?
How's the family holding out through this and making it through this?
We're doing well. we Our son Charlie, he's 4. A couple of weeks ago, we had to sort of set him down and help him understand that things are a little bit different. You know, my schedule's a little bit different. We can't go over to the coffee shop right now. So he's doing good. My wife is doing good as well. We're staying busy at home with projects. But the sort of line between the business and the personal is a little blurry right now. My wife is running the orders down to the post office to get the coffee out. I'm alone here in the shop again, so it's challenging all over.
Is there anything that you wish everybody would realize about being a small business owner in a crisis like this?
I feel like I can really only speak to my own experience. I just have no way of knowing what other people are going through. I assume they're struggling in a lot of, I know people are struggling in a lot of ways. I'm here, I'm open, and it still amazes me how many people just walk in without masks on, acting like there's nothing wrong in the world. Like, I'm here for business, but I'm also trying to stay safe myself. So I wish there were some people taking it a little bit more seriously that way. But we're here, we're muscling through. And those first couple of weeks when we're going to reopen, and we're going to need some patience from people. You know, it's going to take a while to get restocked. The transition back into business is going to be longer and maybe even more painful than the transition out of business.
We'll be there, Ben. Thanks for your time, and thank you for choosing to stay in our community and fight to make it a better place to live. Support small businesses like these in your community. Your community's future depends on it now more than ever. Thanks for listening. In Madison County, that's the latest buzz.